All right, thank you everyone for coming. This is AlphaMegga Marketing Automation, or as we call ourselves, AMA. And we are pleased to be in front of you today in order to do what it is that we have been doing over the last few days, actually weeks, right? And what we've been doing is we've been taking people and taking our audience members, listeners of this webinar, and engaging with them, taking a site of theirs or a video and the keywords that they might want to rank for, and ranking them live, right then and there, right now, right here, so that you can then see what it is that we do, how it is that we do it, and basically have a good time while we're doing it. There's a lot that we discuss, but this is an open forum. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we're speaking to, the right people who are interested in what it is that we're doing. And we are our name is AlphaMegga Marketing Automation, but one of the things that we want to kind of throw out there is that we are appreciative of automated software and what have you. But in the end, when it's all said and done, that leads you to a very big problem that we're going to discuss today. And that problem is that there are all of these individuals who are selling you the next latest and greatest piece of software. And if you are that person who likes to do it yourself, then there's no problem. However, here are some of the snafus when dealing in this world. One of them is that you were sold the latest and greatest product by this supposed guru who's now telling you that they know how to make the SEO and SEM world revolve on its axis. And what ends up happening is by the time you purchase the software, there are about 3 or 4 OTOs or one-time offers that tell you, hey, you bought this software, but if you really want it to work, you should use this other offer that I'm showing you right now. You'll only see it once, it'll be gone forever, and after that, the software won't work as well. And then you'll see on the bottom of the screen, it'll say, no thanks, I just would rather make no money. Or then you see, yes, please sign me up. So just right then and there, when you first purchase the product, and no matter how much it cost you, whether it was a $10,000 lecture or a $3,000 piece of software, what have you, or $300 piece of software, the first thing that you're getting is how it really doesn't work the way that you thought it might work when they first told you. So what we do is we have we hold ourselves to not considering ourselves gurus. Number one, this is the guru-free zone. So we are not going to sit here and tell you the latest and greatest thing that you need to buy from us, and then in 2 days later send you an email stating that after you either did or didn't buy the OTOs, telling you that, hey, I now have a new piece of software that'll really help you even more than the software that you bought from me, which is nonsensical. So that's not what we're doing. So if you are an SEO guru, we are free to be on this call. I mean, we still believe in that. You're free to be on the call. We have nothing against who you may be or what you are, what you're doing. But if you're doing this to your clients, please, have the decency to prove it, and live up to what it is that you say that you can do in your product. Now, what we do is we do not have a money jack guarantee, and part of the money jack guarantee that I was talking to you about is purchasing a piece of software or a webinar or a service or something, and then realizing that you really don't know how to use it, and then at that point you're left talking to customer support or support tickets, and that takes a day or two to get a response or what have you. So then you've spent your money, you're a little disenchanted because of the fact that now you don't have the way to do what it is that you thought you were going to do. Because when you bought that software, you were aggressive. You thought about it. You're like, I'm going to start rocking. And then you see the one OTO come up, and it tells you that, if you buy this, the software will really work. So you say, you know what? I'm committed. I'm going to buy it. And then you see the other OTO come up, and you're like, I'm not gonna freak out. I still know that I'm gonna do well with this thing that I just purchased. And then you get the third one, and then you start, there's that that seed of doubt starts to take hold, because you're like, why are you selling me so many things that are supposed to work if the software in and of itself is supposed to work? But nonetheless, that is not what we're about. What we're doing here is we're actually providing a lot of value and some SEO stuff that and SEM stuff that is, I mean, valuable. In all reality, these are items that you know, you could really, what we're talking about is thousands of dollars worth of, you know, webinar secret guru conversations, but we digress because we are not that. So what we want to do is we want to help you seek every option, and the reason why is because your resources are precious. They're finite, you know, and the mind is infinite, but the resources are finite. And the issue is that one of the things we're going to describe to you folks is that this is totally unscripted. We do this live, and sometimes you might hear keyboard taps and mouse clicks, but and sometimes you may even hear a random car driving by that has obnoxiously loud music. But yes, your resources are precious. We want you to be more effective and more efficient with them, because if you can do that, then you're no longer in that realm where you're lost. You now you have direction. You're not on that road to nowhere, which is basically a circle. So you're in some weird route that it's almost like a Kafka novel. But the other element with SEM is we want you to start examining more, because you know your perspective in how you deal in this world is very important. And when I say in this world, in the SEO, SEM world, the internet world, and in life in general, because what was once a laggard can now become a leader. What was once something that restrained you can now be a method or the reason for your reward. And that's what we can help you look at and identify what it is that you're doing in that respect. So, you know, one of the things that we don't want you to hear is that someone else offered to do the work that you were doing for that client. Because what we do is we help not only the individual business person or the small business, what have you, we help consultants who, you know, have been ranking for people, and all of a sudden, they, because of the new Google Zoo and whatever new Google animal is coming up, you know, now they went light with hummingbirds, but maybe they'll go with pterodactyls later. But whatever animal that comes up out of the Google Zoo has impacted a lot of people, and that's partly why we have started a lot of what it is that we've done, because, you know, what that tells you, or what that tells you is that a lot of what has been accomplished through kind of through low, not ways that are a little bit left of center, right? So grayish to, you know, whatever other colors you might want to throw out there. But what we do is completely legal. There's nothing wrong with what it is that we're doing. We're just calling attention to a site so that Google can then index it immediately. And but there is work to do. So that is the thing that we want to, you know, let you know. We're going to be doing this live. We're going to be doing this now. But at the same time, there is a consistent pattern of work that has to be upheld, so that you don't get this scenario where, you know, I paid you, I'm not seeing any results, and I'm not sure. So that's what we want to help you avoid. We want everyone who's a part of our service to know that they're getting something of tremendous value. And we want to put the world and the internet in your hands. That's just the, you know, but yeah, the issue with search engine game is that you know, second place in essence is first loser. And I've said this on numerous occasions where there's an excited motorcycle racer, and this is a true story, an excited motorcycle racer, and you know, he came up to his team leader and said, you know, we had a great weekend this weekend. We finished second in our races. It was a superbike class or division, and the team leader said, yeah, well, that's great. Second place is first loser. So what we're helping you do is obtain a greater grasp of the clicks, the eyeballs, basically, so that you're no longer in the low ranking method of, or the thought of it is that a lot of times you get the least competitive keywords that describe kind of what it is that you do, and then you aggregate all of that activity to then bring traffic to your site. But if I am, and we had an example on our last webinar, and that's kind of what we do. We bring examples from the last webinar into this webinar as we do our live ranking, but we'll get into that. But what the last webinar was concerning someone who was a flower designer who's trying to establish a greater grasp on his online flower design schools. Well, you typically, as a human, when you're thinking about something that you're doing, this is your job, your livelihood, this is your passion of sorts, you usually don't think of it in a way of, well, what's the least favorable way of saying what it is that I do so that I can gain traffic? No, you're excited about what it is that you do. You want to talk about it. So if you design flowers, you want to talk about flower design. You don't want to talk about wilting roses, because that has really nothing to do with what you're talking about. But so that's what we help you do, so that you can start to gain some more of the eyeballs, because most of the action is on page 1. All right, so if you're not on page 1, then you have about 8% or 8.5% more of traffic that could potentially go your way. But the issue is that 91.5% of it is on the first page, so that's telling you a lot. And if you're on the first page, that's telling you that you are about the first page, and the first ranking on the first page is about 17% of all clicks. So yeah, as we can say here, this is just the issue is that page 1 results garner 92% of all traffic, and your traffic drops off by 95% when you go to page 2. And you guys can read, and when you switch from 2 to 1, you increase more than 4.5 times. So these are very important elements, because the whole issue is, if you're not playing this game, if you're not thinking about this in this way, you're really not taking advantage of what you could be gaining. So one of the things that why do we come out here? Why would you want to use us? Why should there be a relationship? Well, the element is, this is what we do. We do it every day. We're very happy to be doing this. You'll see that we joke around in this webinar. Again, it's totally unscripted, so every webinar is different. I sound different for yesterday than I did today, but so do you. This is life. So this is a great thing. We're totally accountable. We love what it is that we do, and we don't have a business if you're not doing well. So if I'm a guru and I sell you a product or some one-off webinar that you spent $10,000 for, if you don't get the result that you want, oftentimes, yes, is there the 30-day money-back guarantee? Of course, yes. But usually it takes you a little bit of time to try to get into the product. The next thing you know, you didn't really create the software. You may not be conversant in the platform that the software is aimed at. And then the next thing you know, you're kind of disenchanted, because you are in that whole realm of putting out support tickets and getting responses back later, and then the little things that you didn't know, that, oh, well, maybe you should have used this proxy provider, or hey, did you check out this other element, or this software that works in conjunction with the other? And by the time, or hey, I'm sorry, but you didn't. The software would really work great if you used the Spinner software that is a separate company with a separate fee that will give you some separate OTOs. And when it's all said and done, it causes a lot of confusion, and the next thing you know, that's yet another piece of equipment that's on your hard drive and that you're not touching. And that's the whole thing, that we are dependable from the perspective of you are subscribing to a service, and you have someone there. You're basically building a team. So, and for those who are consultants, you are white labeling our service so you can continue to keep your client, keep that relationship, and grow it, and then find other avenues and get referrals from there as well. So this offers a lot of good elements for most people, and in addition, and most importantly, we're here for the long term, because SEO and SEM is a long-term game. We are showing you today how we're able to start the long term immediately, but at the same time, this requires maintenance. So this isn't something where you show up today, and if we are going to do a demo from one of the clients that are on the webinar, then we're going to do this. You're going to have some page 1 rankings, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stay, because you have to continue with it, and that's what we help you do. So with that being said, we're going to leave this up, because right now it's not about how you can be down. Right now it's about us talking about the game, about how this works, some of the things that we might want to look into. The other thing is, as of right now, if anyone has a site or a link or what have you, or you've been having some trouble ranking for a particular word, or you're looking to to do better, or you just started, let us know and put in your comments, and we'll go from there. For right now, what I want to do is I want to introduce my good friend, partner, as we say, compadre, Alex, and he is a part of AlphaMegga Marketing Automation, or AMA, and what we are go through ranking someone live today. Don't know exactly who it's going to be. We're going to have to choose that. But Alex, why don't you get on and just say a quick hello to everyone and explain a little bit about what it is that we do, and maybe fill in some of my blanks there.
Hi everybody. I hope everyone on the call is doing great. Can you hear me, Christian?
Yes, we hear you loudly and clearly.
Okay, great. Because there was something else talking on the background. I was hoping that that's not playing on that side too. Right, we're here today to do, like we've already, everyone has already been told, to do what we do the best, and that is to do SEO. And we use the word do SEO because you don't talk SEO, so to speak. I mean, we're talking it, but in the sense of SEO is measured by results and not by talking. So we're here to just take any random niche and any random keyword and just do what we do best. Again, we're not here to toot our own horn. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I do hear that. That is unique.
Can you hear the thing on the background?
Yeah, it's almost like you have I don't know, like probably Hobby or Starbright is talking in the background.
Yeah, I was running yeah, there's a program I'm running on the background that for some reason decides to, let me just do, yeah, okay, that's not gonna happen again. Sorry about that, folks.
No problem.
Yeah.
Again, this is totally unscripted. This is live. You get this sometimes.
Yeah. So this is happening live. We're not here to toot our own horn, but the idea here is to educate ourselves, at the same time help in answering questions, because there's a lot of talk out there by already the aforementioned gurus, or the so-called SEO super experts that we don't hold by, because all that is, really not what it is. So we're here to show what we do, how we do it, field questions, and give answers that is within the realm of whatever the question might be, to the best of our knowledge. So with that said, I'll pass that on to back on to you, and hopefully we have someone on the call here that will, just throw their business or whatever to us, and then we'll deal with it real time.
Yeah, it seems that we have a few, and as we continue and as we make the selection, what I'm going to do right now, or in a couple seconds, is I'm going to kind of recap what it is that we did the last webinar, and then while we're talking about it, we're not going to be here a ton of time, folks. So the thing is, what we love to do is get on, start talking, get to the point where we start the work, and then once we're able to show the results, you then know that there's something there, because we're doing this every time. Every webinar that you see is different, and so sometimes we'll talk about other points or what have you, but most of the times we're doing this live ranking scenario. So the things that we talk about are everything from local to offline, online, local, global, SEO, SEM, and other elements in between. Most everything that has to deal with the internet. So with that said, we're going to look at our attendees and just see if there's someone that has a site we're going to get into. Just 1 second. All right, it looks like we have a few people who are very much into seeing our work here. Just give me 1 second here. I'm looking into a few things, and we'll make our selection in just 2 seconds. All right. Well, we have. This is totally unscripted. So what I'm doing right now is I'm typing in the site. And the weight loss, sorry, the keyword, which is best weight loss program. And we're going to take a look at some of these things here. Alex, as you are looking at this, let me know if you got that. Just did you get that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So this is an interesting dynamic here. This is an individual who is part of an MLM. Okay, so this is someone part of a multi-level marketing. So a lot of times, and maybe this is a question, and it's totally unscripted, so we ask questions that maybe we know the answer to, maybe we don't. You don't know. But Alex, the thing that I heard, I'll put it that way, the thing that I heard about being a part of an MLM is that the replicated website is almost like a penalty. So if am I going to have more problems, with a replicated website? Is that like a downer of joining up one of these types of organizations?
Oh yeah, definitely. A replicated website is more like what we call a duplicate site.
Right, because there are like 1 billion people with the same, however many members of the organization. Each one has the same site with the same info. So is there a way that and again, this is a rhetorical question, but can we help someone in that scenario?
Yeah, we can help. Again, what we don't do, or we try not to do, is to advise people to create, back in the day, what we call the turnkey sites. And turnkey sites are definitely what you've just named it, a replicated site, where back in the day, up until today, some people still make that mistake to create identical sites in different niches. sorry, I mean, in same business in different cities. I wanted to say, with the hope of having, their business models different different cities. But at the end of the day, what the search engine sees is, a bunch of sites that look alike and are saying the same thing. So what used to be before that, they'll look at it and say, wow, this is an authority site. Nowadays, it's a penalty, you know. And so the best approach to that today, mostly, is that people give these sites out like a back-end office, so to speak, and just to bypass that, they put an extension at the front of it. So if it was like, um, weightlossamerica.com, the extension of that as a turnkey, unlike before, today, I mean, will be like, okay, fine, that is the brand itself, and they might create replicas of that brand by giving it a backend and putting like, weightlossamerica.com/Alex, for instance. That would be like, a subdomain
Right.
of that main domain, so it's within the main domain. So the idea nowadays is always have your mother site, that is the main site, and any other thing, instead of replicating or creating identical sites, you create something under or within the main body of the site itself. So instead of being something external, it has to take its root from the mother source, from the root site itself. In this case, it will be the main site. So it will just be like what we call silos. So
Right.
instead of creating individual, standalone sites in different cities, to be penalized, you create a site that has silos, and silos will be the version of what we used to have before, which is called like a turnkey,
Okay.
site, with the same design, same view, just to, stay away from being penalized.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show people the site, so they can take a look. And that's the site. Here's the um, ready to lose weight or get fit. And this is what people are saying about Visalis. So it's supposedly it's the #1 weight loss and fitness challenge platform in North America. So today, HN Rocks, which is run by a woman named Helki Roundtree. Thanks for getting on the call and submitting your site, Helki. We are going to use her site, and she said that she was looking to rank for best weight loss program. So that's slightly competitive. We see that there are about 145 million results or competing pages that came up for this. That number may vary a little bit depending on your location or what have you, but that's still a significant amount of pages that are competing to come up in this top section. So, with that said, I'm going to go into our previous webinar or webinar's results while Alex starts to fire up the machine.
Yeah, I'm on it already.
On the methodology, because it's not, again, we have nothing against the people who like automated software, but this is not something where it's thing you've done. Oftentimes, most of that stuff that you hear about, where it's just a one click and bada bing, you're done, oftentimes is not the case. You have to realize that this is not something that, Google's not stupid. The search engines aren't dumb. So they spend a tremendous amount of money trying to stay ahead of the curve. So most of the times what people don't want to hear is that you have to give the search engines what they're looking for, right? Because they're looking to make everyone have the capacity to have a good search experience. So when you're circumventing that and trying to use these shortcuts, that's why all the Google pterodactyls come up, and the gorillas and the pandas and whatever other, the butterflies. And then if they're at hummingbird now, they should probably go even lighter next time. It'd probably be like a butterfly. Um, but we know how dangerous butterflies can be, right, Clarice? Anyway, that's my Hannibal Lecter imitation there, folks. And again, this is completely unscripted, but let me get into it just so I can keep it moving. But what we did yesterday is, again, we were talking about an individual who had a school, and he has an online flower design school. He also has an offline flower design school, but he wanted to really get the online version of it up and running. And what we did yesterday is we were able to rank for a number of different words. This is a 44-second video that directs people to this his site. Here you have the ability to opt in or what have you and get more information. But this is the point is that this site hadn't had a lot of activity, and yesterday you can see this is yesterday it was at for online flower design schools with 18.7 million results. We had it at number 2. Then we had latest online flower design schools YouTube, or actually for breaking news online flower design schools. This came up number 1, and then for schools and for school, this came up, and then we had a few other variations that we put up. But one of the things that we wanted to kind of talk about is broad search terms, which would in this instance would just be like flower school or flowers would be broad. Is might be what you might think about if you wanted to if you weren't in the industry or what have you. But when you start to realize how the virtual world, although it's a copy of the physical world, there still are different parameters for the search game. So what we do is, I think the current keyword that we have for this Visalis site is pretty good. But if, for example, she just said weight loss, you kind of want to structure it so that the search engines have an idea, and the people who are searching have an idea of what it is that they're coming into, so that you're not catching the tire kickers. You're catching the people who have a higher chance or higher likelihood of clicking through to your site, and then at that point, you leave it up to your site to do the conversion, and then you monitor that to see what the status is, and that lets you know where you may or may not have some issues. So with that said, that was the effort that we put in yesterday in order to get I think his name was Michael. Get Michael ranked, and if he should choose to come aboard with AMA, then he would basically be setting himself up to dominate a number of these positions. We also have done a site, just to kind of throw other elements out there, a site where a site from Poland, where the individual wanted to drill down to a particular location within Poland so that he could show or that he could kind of see what it is that we did, and we were able to achieve that for him as well. But we don't really want to go into screenshot after screenshot, not because we don't want to show them to you, but this is not the point of what it is that we're doing. The point isn't what we did before, the point is what we're doing now. And as Alex rightfully said, SEO is something that you show. You don't really talk about it. We're talking about it because we're showing it too. And we're talking about it because we want people to know that it's something that you show. Because most of the times what people are doing is they're just talking about it. And then they show you something that was contrived, because it's like any other, like film. Everything in a film, if it's in the shot, it was meant to be there. Very rarely do you have random movies. Actually, never, because you don't want to waste the film, right? Nor the time for the actors. So everything is pretty much contrived. When you're doing something live, you kind of leave yourself open, And that's exactly what we want to do, because we want to see people. We want people to see we want people to see the vulnerability. We want people to see the success. We want people to see the triumph. We want people to see that, you know, this is a real event. This is real. This is live. This is here. This is now. This is us. This is AMA. And we're happy to do this. We have a lot of fun doing this. And you know what? The fun just doesn't stop. So if you go to our Google Plus page, or you know, our YouTube channel, you can check out any of our past webinars, and that's alphameggasystems@gmail.com is our email address as well. But the other issue that I wanted to speak to you guys about is that, you know, as we're here, we're not telling you, hey, and you know, come check us out or come buy this or the other. This is completely free. So oftentimes we recently were both or we had the chance to get on a webinar that was charging, you know, several $100s per webinar, and there were a number of webinars scheduled throughout like a few-week period. So what we're giving to you today oftentimes equates to greater value than, you know, a lot of the webinar things that you can get on and pay for. So that's another thing that we have that we pride ourselves in, is that we're actually giving value, and we're having fun while we do it. Again, if you hear, you know, keyboard clicking and mouse clicking and mouse wheel moving and sighs of exasperation or chuckles of happiness that you see, so that, you know, that's us. That's how we would do it for you. We would be very much engaged in your business, your keyword, your site, and making that work is our job, and we have fun doing it. So, you know, I just want to maybe pass the mic back to Alex, and you know, what are some of the thoughts, or what are some of the things that you look at when we're dealing with this particular keyword? For example, this, what is it, best weight loss program? And, you know, sometimes we have technical snafus, but there we go.
Yeah, and the question again was, what was I looking? What was the best? Yeah. Repeat the question.
Yeah, so
I heard most of it. Yeah.
So, for example, today we have that other site, you know, where it's about the best weight loss or what have you. But you know, what is it? What do you look for, or what do you think about when somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, can you rank my site?" Or, you know, like, what are your thoughts? This is just kind of a little.
Okay. Yeah. Again, what we generally will be looking for is how to kick our opponents off our space, because, you know, we don't want anybody, you know, disturbing us or giving us a run around on keywords that we're interested in. So with that said, there's practically no space that we don't, you know, we shy away from. The higher the competition, the more attractive it is to us. And the reason we say that is usually the opposite is the case when a keyword, I mean, you will hear this every other day, that, oh, it's highly competitive, you know, the volume is too high. And I just want to tell you right now that since the volume is too high, stay away from it, you know. And they give it a red flag, or a red X, or a red color. That is highly competitive. You can't deal with it. To dominate it, you have to, you know, sell your grandmother and sell your grandfather. Now, we turn that around because, you know, really, just think of it. You know, you go against the flow. So if there's money to be made, right? Or if, I mean, there are fishes to be caught, definitely you'll be looking to go where the fishes are, right? Not the other way around. So when people are running away from keywords that are like highly competitive in the, because they tell you once it's like over like 2 million, some will say 1,800,000. If it's like 1 million, it's, you know, it becomes very difficult. We go for the hundreds of millions, the, you know, the tens of millions, because for such keywords or niches to be that competitive, it already tells you something. It tells you that is It is trending. It is what people are looking for. I mean, there's activity going on there. There's a ton of eyeballs going on there. So even though it's competitive, we come into that space. Now to compete in that space, what we do is we create our own formula, and we create our own, you know, niche within that niche. So we come in and, you know, just pay for reservation. We don't even pay. We just like come in and say, hey guys, what is happening here? Is it okay? We can like play this game with you guys, and they give us a tiny little seat. And once we sit down on that, what we do is we just start playing the game. And the idea of how we play the game is we take your keyword, your niche, we analyze it, and we put it within the what we call the algo that we use. I mean, we know when we say algo, everybody, the algorithm, everyone is thinking of Google or the search engines. Yeah, anyone that is into SEO is dealing with some kind of algo. So everyone has their own design of how they approach this. So we do same with our own blueprint, and we position whatever niche it is, even though it's competitive, for the keyword in question. And we create variations of the keyword for that niche, and alongside the same thing that people that are already in the game are doing. After the analysis, we look into it just for a bit, and we model our own keywords within that same frame, and start, you know, attacking the keywords from various angles in the 10s and the 20s, with the goal of actually dominating and taking the space of the exact match keyword that is in question for that niche. And we do that individually per keyword, and we stay with it. So it's not just like a one-day thing that we do it one day and come back, I mean, and leave it and go away. No, we just keep doing that over and over and over. And before you know it, I mean, that keyword just becomes, I mean, we become players in that keyword, and not just players in the top, very, very top of it, of the page one. And most often, or almost all the time, we're within the number one, number two, number three, number four, number five. Because the whole idea is to gradually dominate from 1 to 10, if possible. You know, because really people don't spend that much time looking further away from that, if I did answer your question.
Yeah, no, you totally did, and I think that you started, and you kind of said something that I was saying a little earlier, which is, you know, oftentimes you're told to basically have to think less of what it is that you do. You know, where okay, I sell water. Well, then they start telling you to think about you know, raindrops or something like that. You know, it's not accurate all the time. So I like how we approach it, because if you sell water, that's what you want to talk about. You know, I sell water. I don't want to think about portraying what it is that I do in a less, you know, in a less in any lesser fashion than really what it is. So I like our approach, and that's, you know, part of the success is that, you know, it does take a little bit of time to figure out the system, but once we got this together, and we've had a lot of testing on this, you know, we became or felt comfortable and became confident as to our capacity, what we could do. So, you know, I don't know if we have any other things that we can kind of throw out there as tidbits to people for right now, but I think for the most part, the most important thing is that we are going to show you today, you know, the variations, how we deal with this whole concept. We're gonna take the flower design element off, because his time has come and it's gone. Now it's time for this hnrocks.bodybyby.com to have a little bit of shine. And that's one of the things that we do offer to people, is that you know, when you do come and you do put yourself out there, basically, and have these questions, which I found was a very good question by Helke, was that you know, how do I deal with an MLM? Like I have a lot of associates now, and who who are getting into some different other friends who are getting into different MLMs. So whether it's weight loss or coffee or what have you, there's a whole lot of opportunity that we're going to be showing you, because this applies whether it's Visalis or Organo Gold or whatever the case may be. We can help you out with your MLM as well, and that will help you. That will help you significantly. So we are definitely here doing this completely unscripted and enjoying it all the time. So what I wanted to ask is, people, and again, totally unscripted. We probably know the answers to these questions, but when you rank someone in this time frame, like we're doing this right now here live, what people have had the experience is that you talk to, or I paid X amount and I got this ranking, and now, hey, shouldn't I just can't I just let it rock? Like, shouldn't I just not pay attention to or pay the bill anymore? Should I just kind of walk because I've already established myself, in this at this rank? Is there something that is there some bit of caution that you would throw to people who have this particular mindset, Alex?
Could you repeat that again?
Yeah, of course. It's the classic dynamic of, well, we're here, we're ranking. Let's say Helki becomes one of our clients, and a matter of fact, let's say I'm an SEO, right? And I've got a bunch of clients, and Helki was one of them, and now I ranked her, and now she's looking at it and she's like, you know what? I've had some pretty good rankings for these keywords. Maybe I don't need to make that next payment because I'm already ranking it, and my site's gonna maintain. Do you have any bit of caution? Because although we're doing this very quickly, I still said initially that it is a long-term game. So can you talk about how it used to be in the past, where you.
Oh yeah, definitely. The danger in it is, for the fact that we know what we're doing and we're good at it because we've been doing this for years now, with all the Google changes from the penguin to the panda to maybe the gorilla that is coming or the dinosaur, whatever. We've been with this game. So while people, like we were saying before, while people are running away, we're with the game. And the idea is we know what we're doing and we do this for clients. But the danger in it that for the fact that we're so at least this good at what we do, and it kind of seems very easy. So some clients tend to think, oh my God, this is so easy that, oh my God, the other company or the other firm told us they're going to do it in 90 days to like a year before we even start seeing any result. And these guys are just like doing this and ranking me. Oh my God, look how my site is everywhere in less than a month or two. And the next thing is they begin to think that, oh, they got it. They've arrived and, they don't need that services no more. Like their site is everywhere and they don't want to pay their bills no more and they don't want to maintain their business or keep doing what they're doing to be the authority. And most of them start telling you stories, or most of them think, okay, fine, we're just going to stop investing into this and just, do it on our own, or just take what we've already got now and run away and just do away with this service. But that is a huge mistake because like I was saying before, and like my colleague already said, this is a daily thing. You got to keep up with it. So though we rank you long term, if you decide to like walk away from the service or what we're doing for you, I mean, you're gonna still stay up there for a while because of the way we do our stuff. We lose some. Fine, I understand because that is who we are. But the point is, the moment you walk away from our service through you, your site is gonna linger only but for a while. But what's gonna happen is it's gonna drop because there are people out there, paying top dollars. It just might be your competitor that comes to us after you leave and say, hey, we need to, we are interested in this, want you guys to help us, rank what we do is we start doing the same thing for that person, or someone else is doing it for another person. And what happens in that niche that you're into, that you are dominating, you lose your placement. I mean, you fall in the ranking. Like you just disappear from the search engine because no one's, excuse me, because no one is doing them. No one's going to be sitting there doing or optimizing your site or keeping you up there if you are not, actually, caring for your business the way you should. So just a word of caution there, because we've actually had a few clients that decided that, oh yeah, they've arrived, and they're very, very, very successful, and thought that that was the end of the world and walked away. And they just dropped, like, when a giant falls, it makes a lot of noise, and that's what happens.
You're changing up the cliches today. I love it. But I'm usually the cliche master. I'm a little off today, but we'll pick it up in a second. But yeah, that's a great point, and I think one of the elements behind it is feeling as if you then have a grasp. Well, I'll put this up. We'll put it in the positive. The great part about what it is that we're doing is that we become your team. We become part of your effort. When you choose not to be a part of the team, then that must mean that you now are venturing into the DIY world. So you've now purchased whatever software, and you're gonna go ahead and do it yourself, or that you've kind of thinking that you've found another shortcut to success. But as we all know, that's oftentimes part of the problem is the shortcuts. The shortcuts end up taking you a lot longer to get back from. So we're here to be that team. Again, there is accountability, because it's not like you can, the way that we operate, it's not like we can say, and this is something, maybe I'll rewind here. When we were doing the ranking for our attendee who was in Poland, one of the things that he had said was, oh man, I've been paying this one company a lot of money, and they were telling me how awesome it was that I was on, was it 37 or was it page 37?
It was on page 37.
Yeah, it was page 37. So they're like, dude, you should be so happy. You're on page 37 right now. And I'm telling you, if you keep staying with us, in the next couple of years, you'll be on page 30. They didn't say that, but that's kind of like
something to that effect,
Yeah, and but when we did it, we ranked him that day, so that threw quite a cog in the machine, because it was something where he's like, wait, why am I doing that, and I'm getting kind of a lame result. And they're telling me I should be happy with that. It's not how it operates. So, again, we want you to be known for what it is that you do, and where you need to be, so that you can actually get the traffic and the eyes and the click-throughs and subsequently the conversions. And that's the most important part. But this isn't a game of days. This is a game of, you should always have a 90-day window at least, or if you're super aggressive, a 60-day window for 60 to 90 days, and you monitor what it is that's going on in your
Okay, folks, we're about to go live on Best Weight Loss Program. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
And it's in. So
Best Weight Loss Program. And Christian, I on the research we've been doing, and folks, this is every day we sit down here to late early morning. I mean, we just like go at it, and it's not as if like we just keep having fun. Sometimes we don't even know till the morning hours, So we also came up with some new additions to what we've been doing, some new twists to it that even solidifies our positioning and the way that the keywords have been, fashioned, to even make it a little bit much better. So let's go check it out, because again, this just happened last night. So let's see if today we have results on that.
Okay.
This is real time, so it's I'm quite anxious, just like everybody on the call, to see where this goes.
So it's best weight loss program, right?
Yes, it's exactly. I decided to go on that. Usually I'll give it a twist. I did, but we'll go with that first. Let's see what.
And we'll check the twist in a little bit. I
Yeah.
know how you do. But yeah, this is again one of the things that it's always said, and I say this on occasion, is well maybe all the time, is that when an attorney is told never to ask a question that he or she doesn't know, right? Well, we are asking questions that we don't know because I'm gonna hit enter right now and see what's happening. So okay, right now I don't see us on one. I do see that we have 145 million results. Should I go to 2?
What are you looking at, though?
Best weight loss program.
Yep. Yeah. That's
Okay,
Hold on. Let me see my propagation here. Just give me one sec.
no problem. Again, this is the beautiful thing about it, folks. So you could. The other thing is that, all right, if we're here and we're dealing with a keyword that has about 145 million competing pages, and anyone who knows this industry will know that to wait a few minutes for it to show up is not is not a fatality. This is as we said earlier, we've witnessed and we've heard people tell us that they're on page 37 and that's a good thing. So we certainly aren't there right now, but we will be showing you that will pop in very very shortly and move it on so that we can show you these results, show you a few of the variations that we come up with, and then wrap up the webinar. But for now, I'm just going to go back to the other site, and apparently I got a message from Helki on in the chat here stating that Visalis, what they do is they challenge you to lose 10 pounds in 90 days or something like that, and that's why I guess it's the #1 challenge. They seem to think that when you lose your first 10 pounds, it makes it all easier. Go ahead. What is it? Oh, I think the gremlins were in your mic again. But yeah, so we're just giving her a little publicity today. It's hnrocks.bodybyvi.com if anyone is interested in learning about getting in shape. This guy went from this to that. Okay. All right. Before and after. Before, after. All right. Before, afters. Wow, this is pretty cool. And this is what we do too, folks. I mean, and this is what we would do with your site. We would go through it. We would see whether or not it's something that would make sense for us to work on, or if there's anything we could tell you. And so we go through it. We check it out.
We should already be there. I was just like, I was doing best. Let's see.
Okay. Well, let me do this. Put a different one in. Best.
Actually, I went the news route.
Okay.
So if we do that news route, it should be. Let's see.
What is it that you want me to put in?
No, nothing tonight. I'm checking in. Yeah, I'm checking
Okay.
in my end. I'll let you know in a bit.
No problem. See, folks, this is exactly what we're talking about. Being here live, doing this right now. This is kind of fun for us. You may not think so, but we do. And the thing is, that's also great is, when you click on and you go and look for it and it's not there, it's for us, it's not at all the end of the road. It's actually the beginning. It's exciting and we enjoy it. So this is an interesting site. It's interesting how they've incorporated other people into their into the main site, kind of on a social, like a social created element here. Wow. What is this? My goodness, Sarah lost 101 pounds. Lose 10 pounds on your challenge and you could win $1,000. Wow. You know. Alright, that's good. Getting healthier is always a good thing.
Okay, I'm making some tweaks here.
Sure.
So, you know what? Part of what I was trying to tell you the other time is part of the tweak that the spin that we're putting to it is that we're bringing. Oh, come on. That's part of that. We're bringing more firepower to it.
Yes.
So bear with me. I'm just making sure that when we do pop up, which is definitely in a couple of minutes from now, it's gonna be a little bit different than what we've been doing before.
My goodness, the Hulkster. The Hulkster is on by Silas. All right.
Of course, you know when you think of weight loss, you think of muscle.
Yeah.
And biceps and all that.
That's right, brother.
Yeah.
The Hulkster. That's cool. All right, let's see. Miss USA. What is it? Miss Michigan's going for it. All right. Do her thing.
We are coming.
From mom to wow. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. That's accurate.
Okay.
Yes. So the other thing though.
Sorry guys, I'm just in my own world here.
Yeah, so again, that's the beauty of doing things live. You catch it all.
Yeah, just get carried away sometimes, just having fun. Folks are having fun here. See, so for us, it's part of what we do is just to have fun with this, and that's the joy in it.
Yeah, and we thank you for sitting patiently while we do this. But this really isn't.
You can ask questions. If anyone has a question, please shoot.
Yeah, please put it into the side, and we'll go from there and answer the question. We'll give you a couple of seconds to.
Okay, and the second one is going on live.
Alrighty.
All right, so the next thing we're going to do now is to start checking for keywords. Let's go. Let's that Google thing again. Google.com.
Well, I see one of the questions here is, does it really matter, as long as you're on the first page? Do you think that that's, because being number one is kind of hard. So, being on the first page, does the actual position matter as much? And
yes.
The short answer is yes. It matters a lot, actually.
A lot, yeah. So that's more than a lot, because once you're showing up on the search engine, the thing is, it's not robots, because what we're doing is getting you organic traffic. That is real people, not fly-by-night hits that normally people, I mean, the so-called gurus will come and tell you that, oh, you got 1 million hits today. I mean, those aren't real people. Those aren't organic. That's just anything that passes on the internet that is basically, programs that have been written by people, to make you believe that real people are visiting your site. So what we're doing, you actually have real people coming to your site and, taking a look at it and performing or taking action in what you have to provide. So that's the joy of what we do, you know. So that's a good thing here.
Yeah, the other thing that I would answer to that question is, yeah, it matters a lot. We have noticed, a couple trends because I get it. It's like, if someone tells you that you're on page 37 and that you should be happy, well, if you make it to page 1, then I guess in that world you should just be ecstatic, and you should just be quiet and shut up and pay. But and the issue is really that from rank 1 to rank 10, there's a tremendous drop off on the number of actual clicks that you're going to receive. It's anywhere. So, for example, there's about, if you now my math is not necessarily the greatest, so I might miss a percent or two here or there, but out of the 100% of people that come to a particular page, about 40 some odd percent, let's say 43%, actually click on or it's like, I think it's like 50, anywhere from 53 to 43%, click on the actual organic searches. So you have about half of the people clicking on the paid searches, and then the other half are picking the organic searches. And of that half that are picking the organic searches, you get about 17% if you're number 1. If you're, and then it drops down to about, 9 or something like that if you're number 2, and it just keeps, progressively going down. But the issue, or one of the things that we've noticed, is that there have been 2 trends. One is that 8, 9, and 10 have been getting like more clicks.
Yep.
Than they used to, because of the fact that it's kind of like people don't want to go on to page 2, so they figure they'll just try the last 3 that are there. And then also we've seen that pages 4, 5, and 6 are also getting slightly more clicks than they used to, because people are and that's the other thing. People are the ultimate algorithm in a way. So people are starting to realize that there are paid searches at the top. So a lot of eyes are just dropping down, and then they're usually hitting about 4 or 5, and then because then they're like, okay, that's a real one. So let me deal with the real one, as opposed to someone who's trying to, pay for my mind, pay for me to do something that they want me to do. So, so those are the 2 things that we're noticing. But still, the issue is that compared to being at the very top, and above the fold is usually the top 4 is where you kind of want to be. There's a tremendous difference between being 1 and 2. Nonetheless, that's the whole point that we go after, is having 1 through if we could have 1 through 10 for a particular set of words, that's what we're going for. So we definitely have populated multiple positions on keywords, and I think I do have one to actually show you guys, just so it's not like I'm totally talking crazy, because that's kind of a big deal. So 1 second, let me see where it is here. Just 1 second, folks. Just looking for that. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, here's one where found it finally, and let me screen share it. Yeah, so this is one that we did where, here are the paid searches. Here's 1 and 2, and then we were 3 and 4, and then we had an impact on, 8 out of the 10 first page listings. So it's that's always a good thing. So let me get back to this here.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay,
Doing
great.
my thing.
Yeah, I just went back to the shared screen. Because like we said, we do give publicity to the person who has given us their information. There's another question that just came up is, how does this work? Do we work by contract, or is this is there some sort of what's the arrangement? And what I would say to that type of a question right now is, we are here to have this forum, this open forum where we're engaging with you publicly. What we would do is we would talk to you privately about what it is that we do with regards to pricing. So if you do have any sort of questions about that, you can always call us, and you can always email us. And again, this was the funny, or it's not funny. It was the issue that we were talking about as far as when would this slide come into play? And I guess it's right now. But I'm just going to share it with you guys real briefly. Is that yeah, how you could be down if you to answer the question is you could email us at alphamegasystems@gmail.com. Again, that's alphamegasystems@gmail.com. Or you could call us at 240-560-2662, which spells out AMA. So it's 240-560-AMA, which is 2662. And we would love to hear from you at that point. But for right now, we're going to handle the business at hand, which is, ranking this Body by Vibe promoter Helke Roundtree website, which is what is on the screen currently. So, again, if anyone was to join, please put a note that you did it because you saw it on the AMA webinar. That would definitely add some points to what it is that we're doing. Yeah, so we've got a couple tracks in progress right now, and what we're doing is we are forcing Google to pay attention to us. So,
Exactly.
Because that's another question that I just see is that, is this considered black hat? Should I worry about my site?
No, this is not black hat. This is not gray hat either. This is white hat. And if it's anything at all, I mean, it is Google hat. So, we're actually doing what Google is asking us to do. And again, we talk about the gorilla in the room, with all the penguin and panda slaps. We are smarter than trying to jeopardize or risk the business of our clients, or ours for that matter, doing things that will only come back to haunt us. So if anyone is on the call, everything we're doing here is legally legal, if there's anything like that.
Yeah, legally legal is double legal. How about that? But yeah, I think, one of the things that is most important is we can't be in business if we're tanking other people's sites. And a lot of that's the other element behind some of this guru methodology is that you have people selling you concepts and mechanisms, software, what have you, that jeopardize what it is that you're doing as opposed to help it. And that's not something that we were interested in from the beginning when we started, because that was definitely something that is not possible, because it just destroys everything. It destroys our business and it destroys yours, and we're totally not into that, because then we would just be some other group of charlatans that we're not. There's a question here. The question is like, how do you deal with social media and this with this with the system, with our methodology? Does this help? Does this help your Facebook, or does this help you with Twitter? Does this help you with any of your LinkedIn? Can this be turned? And I'm reading the question, but I'm kind of rephrasing it so that it makes a little bit more sense, at least to us. Is there any way that you can repurpose what you're doing here today for social media?
Yes. The same thing we're doing here on the space. SEO is basically what we call offsite optimization. And just to define offsite a little bit, it's something that you do outside of the main body of your physical website. So we practically wouldn't need to be behind your cPanel or your control deck for your website in order to be able to work on your site. So we do it on the virtual space, whatever, and same thing we can do on the social networking platforms, and so we do it on Facebook, we do it on Pinterest, we do it on Twitter, and so there's really no way that it doesn't apply for us. So the same thing we're doing here, it's a different kind of of a model though, so it's not exactly what we're doing right now, but it's almost within the same scenario of promotions that we do. And the end result is you're going to get more people engaged or engaging with your site, not only like talking about it, but sharing it with other people, because it has value, and it solves the need in their lives. And creating that buzz on the social networking platforms with statistics to measure it, so it's not just like people liking you, actually where they're coming from, who shared what with who, and stuff like that.
Very good, very good. That is that is an excellent question. Thank you. That was from Jeremy. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We should have something already here by now.
And this is it, folks. Like when you're hearing the keyboard thumping and the mouse clicks and the different little comments that you're hearing, this is the essence of doing this live, so that you know that what the scenario is here.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, oh my God, is the search engine not liking us today? But no, the thing is, they're as confused as we are.
And that is the truth, folks, because and that's why it's important to have that consistency behind what it is that you're doing. Although we could rank you very quickly, what the search engines go ahead and do is they want to make sure that you're real. So they bump you down, and then they wait for you to then reestablish what it is that you were doing. And if you don't, that's how they realize that you were just some bot or some, you're some fluke or what have you. But when you start addressing it time and time again, they have no choice but to say, oh, this is a real individual. This is something that we really need to pay attention to. So that's kind of what we're in the midst of doing at the moment. And as you all had seen, it's a, slightly, and there's a lot of, I mean, let's be real, anything weight loss is hyper competitive. So
Yeah, that's the thing.
yeah,
We're actually tackling a big one today.
yeah, we're in big boy status right now. We're in the 10-foot pool. So if we didn't know how to swim, we certainly would be drowning today. but thankfully we know how to swim. And just another water analogy. It's what we help you do is oftentimes when you get this new site, and I think that's may have been what prompted Elke to get on this webinar, is that when you get a site, there's this excitement of, hey, I'm on the internet, but at the same time, it's kind of like, so what, because you're on the internet. It's almost like you're in the middle of the South Pacific Ocean, and somebody just tossed you a little lifesaver flotation device. So now you've got this little, donut lifesaver, and now they're telling you to make it to an island, but you're in the middle of the South Pacific. So that's not an easy task, and the likelihood is that most people, given that scenario, would perish. And it's a similar situation with the internet. So there's a lot of we are here to be that ocean liner that can pick you up and take you from island to island, and have you sipping pina coladas on the aft deck, and rock climbing and in the pool, and hanging out for a few hours at the port before you take off and go to the next island. And we're here for the actual cruise. We're not here to help you be Tom Hanks and Mr. Williams. No, sorry, Mr. Wilson. In a raft, hoping to make it somewhere, because we do not want you to be a castaway. That's our goal, is to give you the wherewithal and put you on our ocean liner, so that you can cut through the waves and weather the storm and arrive at your destination happy, healthy, alive. So it's kind of what we're up to. And again, this is a really competitive space. So right now there is a little bit of time, but in all reality, this is one of those spaces where people would, or the guru experts, what have you, would tell you that, hey, I got you on page 37. You should be very happy right now. Just keep paying me till 2025, and you'll be good. So that's again something that I want everyone to kind of pay attention to, is the fact that we are putting you right in the midst of the action, based on what it is that you want to do, not based on some idea or lesser idea of what it is that you should be doing. That's very important. So again, folks, we're here live. Just to reiterate the liveness of it all, we'll what is it? No, it's the other way around. Pop out the clock here. I am not in Wichita, Kansas, but that's cool.
I know what you're doing. You're searching too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something is happening with our big boys, but don't worry.
No, not to worry at all.
I'm not worried at all.
The big boys will come around. See, because in essence, what we're doing is like we are acting like the squeaky wheel. and the squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's kind of how it goes. So let's continue to squeak away, and whenever you tell me, I'll go and start looking up the combination of words that you tell me. But definitely, this is one of those competitive spaces. I think what we'll do one of these days is if someone gets on with an automotive site, we'll do an automotive site, because that's a very competitive space again too. And the thing is that because we do this online live, we do not have the time to kind of prepare or to start the process so that we could then just say, hey, and oh look, by the way, you know. So it's again, it's an important thing to put out there, just because of the fact that everyone who has these guru type of efforts will not do what we're doing. It's absolutely, it's like garlic to a vampire, you know, or I should say holy water, I guess, to a vampire. It's repulsive for them to do something like this live, because it kind of, if something didn't work, then they would then feel a little less guru confident. So I guess it's all about confidence when you're a guru. And if your confidence is shaken, you can't go and tell someone to go ahead and purchase a product that you can see isn't really working the way that you would say that it's supposed to work. So we have no problems with what it is that we do. There is, and I'm going to give another plug out there for this this book. There's a book that you can read. It's called Rework, like REWORK, as in work again, or like redo. Yeah, but what Rework points out sometimes is that there's certain companies that, you know, have a special sauce or whatever, and they're able to tell you the elements. There's a transparency. That's the word I was looking for. There's a transparency in it, because even though you might have all the ingredients, you might not necessarily know how they go, in what order. There might be something that, you know, you have to put the vinegar in before the salt, or whatever, you know, whatever the case may be. But the point is that we're transparent. We're here to show you the results of what it is that we do, and you know, I would suggest that people read Rework, because it is a great book, and I think it sheds a lot of light on how those who are interested in working, you know, in the internet, or with the internet, or however on the internet, can really take some of these points and make it work for you, even to an even greater extent. And that's what we've done. So we're here, and even if we were to, you know, there's a lot to what it is that we do. So, you know, I'm not going to be completely I'm not going to be completely I'm not going to divulge entirely what it is that we do, but at the same time, you could pretty much pick up, you know, a lot of different elements, and perhaps do what it is that we do. But we've perfected this over quite a few years, really, and so as of right now, we're very happy to show these results, and we're very happy to be here with the understanding that, you know, about 6 or 7 minutes ago, we said that we'd be on and ready for a particular keyword, but guess what? It didn't work that way. So this is exactly what we would do with your site, which is, oh wait, we had a little problem. We're gonna let's attack it from a different perspective, and that takes a little bit of time. So
It's a good problem.
yeah, this is a good problem. Anyone who knows, and even if you don't know, there's no way that you could possibly think that you're just going to step on the scene and then, you know, with 145 million competing pages, just, you know, just kind of blast everyone out of the box without having to do a few things here and there. And if there's an issue, this is the great part about it. What happens when you have a lot, and again, if you want to do the automated software thing, please feel free. We have no problems with that. We're pretty much not talking to you then in that respect. But what happens is, when you use a product like that, and then you did everything, you did everything that you were told to do. You watched all 50 hours of tutorials. You read the 3 or 4 different 35-page PDFs. But when you have a problem, you're kind of stuck, and then you got to go into the support ticket scenario, which then takes time, and hopefully you catch them at the right point in their day. But we're here, and we had, let's say, a change of direction. It happens immediately. There's none of this deliberation about or flipping through the manual to find the right page. This is live. So everything that we're doing is here to for a purpose. At this point, since we've been on for a little bit of time, at least people have been able to see this site. So Elke has been benefiting from people seeing her site, and that's a good thing for her as well. So we're adding value all over the place, not only for the person who's getting their site ranked, for those who want to think about ranking sites, and for those who, either you have your own business or what have you.
In case I know people might be wondering. So put that keyword there. People might be wondering what I've been doing. What I've been doing actually is the Google dance and taking Google up and down to follow what we're doing, and it's just beginning to track. So we have one that has just come up. So I put it there.
So let's see how the tracking is going here, my friend. All right, you can see my screen. Everyone can see my screen.
Actually, we can also switch that around.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this 5? Yes, it is. HN Rocks.
Yep.
Bodybyvibe.com. Bam. So this is what is exciting to us, folks. Like the results, and having the opportunity to show you what it is that we're doing, and then going here and clicking this little screen capture thing and telling, hey, capture the visible part of the screen, and clicking that little circle thing and going, all right, only 192 million, which was
only. And you can see the variation of it too, because now we're beginning to pull them to us.
Okay, excuse me. Okay.
We kind of say this almost every other day. We use it amongst ourselves that how do you eat an elephant?
Bite by bite.
Yeah. So.
Wow, 1, 2, 3, and then this one's 4.
Yep.
Okay. As Mr. Mackey would say, okay. Again, we do get silly, and these are the times when we get silly, especially because we're so pumped that we're getting these results, and it's always a good time to, just get a little lighthearted about what it is that we do, because we do love it. So that's one that we showed you that came up at number 5. All right, and as you can see, there's been a bit of a dance.
You know what I'm looking at, Christian? Because like we're telling everyone on the call that when we were doing these things, we didn't plan anything. We just came here and we're doing what we would normally do with or without the webinar.
Yes.
So it's quite interesting that we are all seeing real time here that even though things are happening the way they're happening, Big G is not sleeping. They're also doing something to counter, or at least not counter, to understand what it is that is actually going on.
Right.
We do these webinars and these tests almost every other day.
Yep.
And somebody must not be sleeping right now on Google waiting for signals from us to come or from somebody else doing this kind of stuff. So what I noticed today is just a little bit of a little holdback. Maybe it's because of what I was telling you about that I tweaked.
Yes.
But hey, it's all good, man. There's nothing to fear.
No, none at all. I mean, this is we went from uh, uh, 145 million competing pages to 156 and 192 respectively, with one that is at number 4, which is definitely above the fold, and then number 5, which is just slightly below the fold, and I know there might be one or two people saying, well, what are you talking about? And the fold is just basically where the screen ends. So when you put in this result and then you hit enter, typically the first 4 or maybe even 5 results, it depends on how many other ads and what have you are served up on the screen, but usually the first 4 are above the fold, meaning that they're right on the screen and you don't have to move up or down to access any more of the results. But like we had also said that 4, 5, and 6 are now kind of a little bit more. There's a greater surge for those numbers simply because a lot of people might think that these first 3 are paid, and then they'll say, well, you know what? Okay, cool. Let me now go to this and this and the other. And so that's kind of how it's been working out. But which is pretty cool. And this is the annotated screen for all those who are looking. So if I scroll down and it doesn't go down, that's because this is the screenshot that we just took 2 seconds ago. And again, we've been on for a while, and we have not mentioned anything about this, but the point is that I started this about half an hour ago, and that's what we're talking about with regards to this dance. Like, you have to know how to do it so that you can make it work for you. And if we had felt any sort of shakiness, we would have cut bait, and then you guys would have been like, oh, these guys stink. They didn't even finish the job that they set out to finish.
This one is for you. Just for you to look at, so you can just look at that on your own. The last thing I put in there.
Oh, okay.
So it's still strong on that one.
Wow.
And that's way back.
My goodness.
It's still up there, man.
That's cool.
Behind.
That's another one that we did many moons ago. But coming back to this one here, number 4, half an hour ago, folks. You can see that these other ones, December 2013. This woman actually was April 2014. That's cool. March 2014. That's cool too. Seems to be.
And the goal, folks, is we gradually take different keywords surrounding the main keyword that we're looking for, and we're romancing, or so to speak, asking and helping Google to actually come to us and do what we wanted to do. So that's the dynamic. I know most times we have people on the call trying to figure out what we're doing. Oh, how did you do that? If I wanted to do it on my own, what should I do? What's the mindset? So we just give you the overview of what it is that we're doing. So we're not here to confuse you or as if there's something totally way out that we're illegally doing, but it's just the mindset of how we approach these things and the research and studies we've been doing on it to understand how Google and the other search engines actually think and operate.
Right.
So that's just for those of us that are on the call silently listening. That's exactly what we're doing right now. And it's very interesting too, because usually, if anybody wants to like, if you tell me you're like an SEO expert, the what comes and you say, okay, fine, show me who you are and what you do. So this is not new to us. We usually will get very, very high competitive keywords because mostly that's what they tell the clients that, oh, this is too competitive, we can't rank for it. So usually when we have these webinars, we have very, competitive keywords thrown at us because that is what we like. So we have people on the call that come on and just like bring, keywords either they've researched it or keywords that they've tried ranking with somebody else and it didn't happen, and they just bring it to us just to test what we're doing, and we're up to the task. So please, more of it. That's what really makes it okay. Fine. So this keyword, why is it, given this kind of scenario? Then we find a way to come against that and rank it anyhow. So it is not. The point is there's no keyword that we can't rank for, at least. There's no space that we can't play in. So bring it on.
Bring it on. And we want to definitely want to thank Helke for letting us use her site. And I think one of the things that we do is, and similar, that's what we did today a little bit, is that we show the results from the past webinar on the upcoming webinar. So we're going to show, what it is that we've done today, and show how that, number one, that it's stuck, and then go from there. But this has been an awesome time. Do you want to wait a few more minutes just for the or are
You're gonna come around. I put in, so whoever's on the call, we usually will do 1 or 2 instances per call, but on this one we did 3. So we should have a couple of these keywords gradually coming up.
Yes.
To show you for the next call.
That's great. So we want to thank everyone for the time. This is exciting. We love doing this, and again, if you have any questions or what have you, you can always give us a buzz, and buzz meaning at alphamegasystems@gmail.com, or you can call us at 240-560-AMA. Again, that's 240-560-2662, and we'd love to speak to you. Thank you so much, and thank you, Alex, for banging away and getting through the little hiccups, because that was complicated, and we dug it. You did do a great job. We had, I think, 3 keywords that we were ranking for, and plenty more to show for the next webinar. And again, the next one may or may not have barking dogs.
I was going to ask, is that me or you?
May or may not have barking dogs and cars with loud, obnoxious music traveling around, but such is life in the tropics. But thank you, everyone, for the time. We really do appreciate it. Thank you, Alex. It's been a pleasure, as usual, my friend. And,
thanks, everyone. And again, join us for our next call, because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna have some tips and tricks on. We're gonna blow this up a little bit so you can kind of imagine and be as excited as we are, and maybe that's why we are so excited. We've imagined so many things, and we've been able to put them into reality. So we're gonna just start showing you that. Alrighty. So everyone, again, thanks again. Be safe, and we will speak to you soon. AlphaMegga Marketing Systems. AlphaMegga.
Bye, all.
Take care.